Joel Levington of Brookfield Investment Management follows the company. Joel, welcome to Bloomberg. Good to see you. You heard Laura Lee's report. What's going on?
Sure. Well, I think today what investors are disappointed with is that revenues came in about $1.5 billion to $2 billion short. And secondarily, in the finance business, you really had a tax gain that really drove the results. Excluding the tax gain, as Laura reported, earnings were negative this quarter.
Seventh straight quarterly decline.
That's right. That's right. So a poor performance out of the financial business, and really only some signs that you're seeing a turnaround in the industrial side. Did
the profits decline in line with what you expected?
Well, the earnings that came in were a little bit ahead of expectations. That's largely due to the tax benefit that they got. I think the positive out of the GE business results was that cash flow from operations for the quarter were $4.4 billion, about $500 million better than what I think the market expected. And for the year, they're on track to generate $15 billion worth of cash flow from operations. So that's a very solid performance.
What about GE Capital's future? As Laura mentioned, pre-tax loss in the quarter of $997 million.
Yeah, well, I think at the end of the day, Mark, GE needs to simplify, and as we were discussing, for a 100-plus-year-old company, they have to decide what they want to be when they grow up. And really, on the financial side, what I would like to see, and what Brookfield, my company, would like to see, is that they really shrink down the consumer business and in their real estate portfolio.
Is that how they get back to being your grandfather's GE?
Well, that's part of it. You have two businesses here. So on the finance side, you got to reduce consumer finance, you got to reduce real estate. On the industrial side, the media business, which is being discussed as maybe being sold to Comcast, that needs to go. And then conversely, if you look at some of the other businesses, security has been mentioned as a potential asset sale.
Right.
People are also talking about what happens to the C&I, the appliance business, the lighting business. Is that part of the long-term, profile of GE?
Jeff Immelt has made healthcare a focus. What's your view there?
Healthcare is a great long-term business to be in. Unfortunately, myself, everybody else, we're getting older every day. The world is getting older, so it's a great long-term play. It's having difficulties right now simply because hospitals, their capital budgets are just weak, like most capital budgets in the economy. But that's a fine long-term business, and it really ties into the core of GE in that GE is an innovator of technological products that revolve around electrical technology, and that's really the core of GE, and that's really where they need to be. So that's the type of business that they should be in.
So I would assume that Brookfield's a little bit happy with Immelt and the news that it may be divesting?
Oh, well, I think for Brookfield, we would like to see them invest around the core. And the core to me is electrical equipment and componentry. So by that, I mean the energy business, oil and gas, aviation, healthcare. That's really the strength and the core of this company. And obviously, I think that's what we and the market would like to see.
Joel, we have about 30 seconds left. How do you determine the growth rate of the company a year from now?
That is a great question. I think what you're going to see out of the industrial side is signs of recovery, and I think you saw that today for the first time with the book-to-bill up to 0.85 from 0.5.
And I mention that because, as Laura mentioned, GE's a bellwether. Does that make it more difficult?
Well, I think what makes it more difficult is scale and diversity.
Yeah.
Because you're in so many different end markets, it really makes it tough to have every business running on full cylinders at the same time. And that's one of the reasons why they need to scale down.
Joel Levington of Brookfield Investment joining us in studio to talk about GE.